Better ingredients, better pizza, better value, Papa John's. My name is Bill Haas.
I'm Pat O'Donnell.
Today we're going to be giving a stock analysis of Papa John's, ticker PZZA. Papa John's is currently trading at $37.73. Given our calculated intrinsic value, we believe Papa John's is valued at $44.25. This is a potential upside of 17.28%, so we have a strong buy recommendation on the stock.
Now, Papa John's is the world's third leading service provider of pizza delivery, and they have a strong partnership with the NFL with sponsorships in over 20 teams. And we see this as having huge potential growth as the season approaches, especially while the market is down.
So quickly looking at the comps versus peers, we noted that Papa John's has a PE of 23.81, price to sales of 1.02, and price to free cash flow of 37.29. Looking at some close competitors, DPZ, Domino's, Yum Brands, and CMG Chipotle. In all three of these categories, PZZA, Papa John's, is undervalued, possibly indicating that they're trading at lower than all their peers. And given some research we've done, there's no really reason to justify this.
So performing some DuPont analysis, looking at the return on equity, you can see consistent growth since the financial crisis in 2008. We're now at a return on equity of 43.5%. Net profit margins showing increased profitability. However, they've remained relatively consistent at around 5%. Total asset turnover, you can see, has reached a peak of around 3, which shows basically reached max efficiency of how sales have utilized total assets. And the equity multiplier at about just under 3, which basically shows that we're increasing the leverage, the Papa John's increasing the leveraging of their debt. However, we see this as a long-term benefit and overall primarily contributing to the increase in ROE.
So quickly running through our calculations we made to get our DCF model. We first started with weighted average cost of capital. We use the formula on the first line here. The one assumption we made is for the cost of debt, we took interest payable divided by total debt. We then plugged in our values found using fiscal year 13 data from the financial statements. We came to a weighted average cost of capital, fiscal year 13 of 0.175874. Next, looking at our free cash flow to firm calculation. We used the, again, formula top row, plugged in our values from the fiscal year 13 financial statements, came to an FCFF of 36.606 million. And finally, the discounted cash flow calculation. To find the growth rate for this formula, we took net income going back 5 years, found the average growth rate in net income. That came out to 0.1511. We used that to grow our FCFF 13 to FCFF 14. We took that over a weighted average cost of capital minus the growth rate, came to a value of 1.697 billion. This comes out to about $41.47 per share.
And we just want to clarify that in looking for the growth rate, Papa John's actually did release its first dividend in Q1 2014. So in the future, that's definitely something to include in the valuation. But that's our reasoning for using net income for estimating the future growth rate. Looking at the method of comparables, once again, Papa John's to its industry peers, Domino's, McDonald's, Yum Brands, and Chipotle, you can see the P ratio is relatively low compared to the average of 32.11 at 23.43. The industry average beta is just at 0.686, whereas Papa John's is at 0.22. And creating the valuation, we took the industry average justified PE of 32.11 times the contemporaneous earnings per share and came to a valuation of $50.73, which we believe to be fairly accurate.
Finally, just wrapping up, looking at our overall valuation summary. Again, we found a discounted cash flow valuation of $41.47. For method comparables, we had 50.73. And then we took a blended version of this, looking at about a weighted 70% DCF, 30% for method comparables, and we came to about $44.25. We believe this is a fair intrinsic value given the calculations we made. And again, current market price $37.73. If we were to buy the stock today, we believe there's a potential upside of 17%. So we believe today is a great time to buy Papa John's.
The two have spent the last several hours working closely to come up with these valuations. We're pretty confident in what we've come up with, and we hope you agree that Papa John's is a strong buy.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.